Hello, everyone. My name is Arsen Sturb, and I'm a founder of Dance Channel TV. I have a special guest today, Misha Tchoupakov. He is actually graduated from the Bolshoi Academy, and he danced at the Bolshoi. He trained with the Pestov, is it correct?
Yes, I trained with him when I was at my university getting my degree as a teacher.
Wonderful. And Pestov is a wonderful teacher. He prepared a lot of the big stars. And we here today just to have a talk with Misha, because Misha is very renowned international guest teacher. I mean, every time when I look at him on Facebook, he always travels somewhere. So I'm not going to give you names because it's going to be endless, where he's in China, he's in Russia, he's in Europe, and he's a professor at the university, assistant professor. As well as he's a judge at Yagp and director of assistant, right?
Rehearsal director.
Rehearsal director. So
and, yes, resident master teacher for them too for many years.
Wonderful, wonderful. So Misha, let's just very kind of abstract question. What is ballet for you?
Oh, for me personally? Yeah. Oh man, hard to say. You know, ballet is a bug. When you get it, it's very hard to get rid of it. I tell you the truth, it wasn't my choice in the beginning to become a ballet dancer.
Yeah, that's usually the case.
Yeah, usually the case. But my mother was a professional ballerina, also graduated from Bolshoi Ballet Academy. And basically when I got to age 9, 10, she took me to a ballet school. I didn't have any previous experience training ballet or dancing. I mean, I grew up backstage basically, or in a dance studio, following her to performances or to rehearsals classes. And then when I started my training at the Bolshoi, I got in, which was surprisingly difficult, because even for boys it's much easier than for girls, but still it's a competition. I got in the first few years, I tell you the truth, I suffer. It was difficult, physically difficult, discipline was very difficult. I had troubles, not academically, but to keep the concentration during the dance classes. But you learn pretty quickly. I mean, the training was very strict and intense. You know, we trained about 6 days a week, whole day. The school include academic classes, all the various dance classes, music, language. We learned French. We learned to play piano. I mean, it was very intense. And slowly I got into the kind of that state, and I thought that's going to be my life in the future. And I trained there for actually 9 years at the Bolshoi Ballet Academy, which is everybody trained that time about 8. I was put in the same class. I hold back in the 5th grade, which is ballet 5th grade, because I was too short and too skinny. Yeah. And then I grew pretty quickly when I repeat the year, because they let me do less classes. I had a little bit more free time, and after graduation I joined the company, and basically that was my life. I didn't know anything else. It was pretty good. I traveled, I danced, I performed, and during my career, yes, I tried once to quit ballet and do something else, and decided it's time to, when I moved already to America and had a family, had a kid, I said, okay, I need to start different than just performing. And I couldn't do it. So the truth was very hard. Yes, I couldn't imagine myself going to work and be there from 9 to 5 every day doing the same thing.
You know, I'm sure every dancer professionally and everyone in the back of the mind, they always have this, you know, once they're dancing and they get too much into this career, they want to quit. because the profession is so difficult, so psychologically, physically, so much demanding. Would you change your life looking back and do something else if you would know this is how this is where it kind of in the end comes?
I tell you, I probably wouldn't change the direction of my life, but I would change myself.
Okay.
With years, you become wiser and more kind of knowledgeable, and I would probably change the way I approach certain things. Maybe work a little bit harder, maybe did a little bit more, then achieve a little bit more than I achieved. But yeah.
Now that you're teaching, do you find teaching more difficult than dancing? Because most of the people that I actually interviewed, they said that it's much harder to teach than to dance.
Yes, I agree completely. When you're a dancer, it doesn't matter you're a student or you're professional dancers, you basically follow directions. You told what to do. You have a set choreography. You have a ballet master, teacher, artistic director, choreographer, somebody there to tell you, that's your job, that's what you're doing, that's what you're going, that's what you need to do. You coach basically. When you're a teacher, you basically become one of those, and you're responsible for the people who you're teaching. And sometimes it's not easy.
I mean, and then it's a lot of, like, for example, for me teaching as well, it's really giving that information and letting that person to understand how everything actually works.
Correct.
I mean, it's very challenging. I mean,
correct, because even we're doing a physical activity, and in my opinion, repetition and consistency will make you better, but also the actual student or professional dancer, if they don't understand what you want from them, what exactly they have to go through their brains before they go through their muscles. One thing is going through movement because it's just you're physically capable of doing it, and another thing, physically understand what you're doing. And that way, it kind of differs a little bit between, yes, somebody has more talented physique and someone might have a less talented physicality. But if that person with less talented physicality have more understanding how the movement works, they might achieve even better results in the end.
Yeah. Now, do you find a lot of dancers who become a professional dancers because of their talent or because of their hard work?
Both. Combination of both. You can't just rely on the talent, and you can't just rely on hard work. I always tell my students, I think I'm known for that phrase, don't work hard, work smart.
Absolutely.
That's the main thing.
Now, I'm sure a lot of the students have a question, you being as a judge at Youth American Grand Prix. What do you look at when the kid gets on stage? What do you look at in them? Like, what do you try to find, like, to get those high scores? And how is it important for a kid to participate in the competition as they're training?
Okay. As a judges, of course, we want to see a good performance, but in the same way, it's not necessarily that performance and that specific moment on stage belong or depend on that specific student. It's so much involved who that student trained from, what kind of variation or piece of music or choreography been chosen for that specific student, what kind of ability that student have, and what the teacher tried to demonstrate with that student. Because sometimes we have a very, very talented kids, but with very, very limited training. And that's what I think Youth American Grand Prix actually best at, to find those raw talents and get them into good hands, big schools in Europe or America or anywhere else, and develop that talent. Because talent by itself, it cannot do anything. Ballet is such a thing. You have to have a training, or not necessarily ballet, any classical art. If you don't have a training, if you don't master the craft, your talent will not do much. But for the kids, actually, when they participate in the competition, and it's a big kind of discussion about whether it's good or bad, I always tell, it doesn't matter of the result, what you get in the end. Either you get a trophy, prize, gold medal, silver, whatever, chocolate, anyway. But the time when you spend preparing for that event, that's when you best reward. That's when you're improving. That's when you're getting better, even if you don't get anything in the end.
Yeah, it's kind of like experience of preparing yourself to become a professional dancer and getting on stage.
Correct.
And that's the reward.
Performance opportunity. When else? I mean, when I grew up in Russia, when we trained, yes, we trained in the studio, but actual performance opportunities we had, it was mostly corps de ballet work. Very rarely we did solos or say variations of classical repertoire. Even now, they train the technique and they train you to be prepared, because even when you join a company, you're not going to start right away with 32 fouetté and doing the lead role in Swan Lake, but you have to learn how to be in a group, how to hold the line, how to listen to the music, how to follow directions, corrections. That's very important. And then competitions give you that opportunity to actually do it, go on stage and perform by yourself, do solo, which is very, very demanding physically and mentally. And I think that's a good big plus for the students to have that opportunity and that chance to go on stage and perform.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, Misha, where do you see in general, kind of switching gears, where do you see where the ballet really goes, like how it changed and where it's moving right now?
Oh my God, hard to say. I mean, ballet evolves all the time. I mean, yes, even classical ballets of 19th century still exist and still performed and still, but even there, it's a lot of changes, technique changes, aesthetic changes. Yes, we still have the same music, but even the classical choreography, certain places, it evolves. If you still perform the way Anna Pavlova did, if you watch the videos, the technique went way, way far ahead right now. But what the ballet kind of people say, oh, ballet might die because this old form of art. I don't think so. I think ballet is the classical form of art, same as classical music and opera, and it will survive. It will change slightly. Plus, right now, so much is done is a contemporary choreography, which I love contemporary choreography. Yes, classical ballet is amazing when it's done very, very well. When it's done mediocre, it's hard to watch. But a lot of contemporary choreographers nowadays and presenting classical concepts of re-choreographing Giselle or Sleeping Beauty, or, I mean, it's done pretty well. Some of the productions is genius.
Yeah.
And I think that way the ballet will progress further and further. Hopefully it will attract more younger people, not necessarily to train, but to watch, to be in an audience.
Speaking of which, people who never probably saw ballet or suddenly stumble on this video, what would you recommend them to see first, and what company would you recommend them see first?
Oh, I don't know what this kind of, it's.
I mean, you know, like sometimes you bump into something and just like you never seen this, but there's some kind of curiosity and you want to expose that person to the right thing.
I always say, go to the source. Like, especially with YouTube, you can find anything you want. And if you want to learn or watch classical ballet, learn from the best, go to the source. If Petipa choreographed in St. Petersburg, watch the Mariinsky. If something was done, or Bolshoi, I mean, Russian company. If you want to see Balanchine on a contemporary choreography, you want to see Matsek, see his company performing, you know, and it's people have different tastes. Some might say, this is amazing, I love it so much, and somebody will say, no, I don't like it, it didn't touch me at all, right? But when it's good, it's good. and everybody will, it doesn't matter on people have exposure to that form of art or not, they will see that it's good.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, Misha, thank you so much for tuning in with us and having conversation.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. And good luck with all the teaching and traveling. I know it's very brutal
Thank you.
to be one place, another place, but we probably will see you at the competitions.
Yep, thank you. I will probably see you too soon. Do we have any questions from anybody?
I actually am looking at people probably listening, but not question. Maybe I'll ask them. Anyone has a questions to ask, you guys can post right there in the comments. Misha is ready to answer them. I will give it a little bit of time.
Really related to ballet.
Yeah. Well, we right now in California probably sleeping, and today's a Labor Day, so it's kind of one of the time where. Yeah, it's Labor Day today.
No, Veterans.
Oh, Veterans Day. Sorry. Yes.
Correct.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
But East Coast, we all.
Yeah. You guys all awake and ready. Here we go. Wow, beautiful view right there. Look at that. All green and lake.
Yeah, it's a full blown.
Yeah, we have palm trees and heat.
Lucky you in California.
So, but we'll see you here.
You know, you have 4 time of the year, right?
Yeah.
Floods, riots, mudslides, and what else? Earthquake.
There we go. You'll be here in February, right, for YGP?
I'm not sure if I'll be in California, but I will join YGP on the tour, all the East Coast, some of the cities.
Okay.
And then possibly in April in finals in New York. Plus, I'm doing another event which I've been involved in March. It's in Italy. It's called International Ballet and Contemporary Dance Competition Domenico Modugno.
Interesting.
And it's in Lecce, Italy. It's in the south of Italy. Kind of same setup as YGP, but that competition also have a professional division, which is 20 to 25 years old. Yeah. And
there's one question from the Yoshi. She says, "Hello, Misha. Are you planning to come back to Hawaii to teach next summer?" I hope so.
I'll try. I love Hawaii, and I've been traveling. And first time actually came to Hawaii. Oh my God, almost 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Dancing. And now I go there to teach. Yes, I will try. Ballet Hawaii. Hello.
That's wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, well, we don't have any more comments. So again, thank you so much, and
Thank you,
thank you, Misha.
All right, thanks. Bye.